Imagine the thunderous crack of guillotines echoing through Paris's blood-soaked streets in the autumn of 1799 as a 28-year-old chemist named Éleuthère Irénée du Pont clutches his young wife's hand. Sophie Dalmas, her face pale as marble, their three toddlers, huddled against her skirts while revolutionary mobs howl for noble blood outside their barricaded home. The air reeks of gunpowder and fear, the same volatile mix that once fueled Éleuthere's dreams in the royal powder mills under Lavoisier's watchful eye, but now it's the scent of doom closing in. His father, Pierre Samuel, a brilliant economist who'd risen from watchmaker's son to king's advisor, has just clawed his way out of a second imprisonment, his pleas of senility, a fragile shield against the blade that claimed thousands. The family once guardians of the monarchy's shielding, Louis XVI from the Tuileries siege now flees as traders boarding the leaky American Eagle on October 2nd, with nothing but trunks of manuscripts, a few gold coins and hearts, scarred by the revolution's rage. The voyage stretches to 13 hellish weeks. Storms battering the hull, scurvy gnawing at flesh, whispers of mutiny amid the endless gray sea. As they stagger ashore in Rhode Island on New Year's Eve, snow whipping their faces, Éleuthère whispers to Sophie, "We'll build anew from ashes to thunder, but in the wilds of America where forests swallow, men and gunpowder's crude sparks light frontier nights. What if this exiled noble's alchemical fire could ignite an empire, turning peril into powder that propels a nation through wars and wonders?" Hold Your Breath with Me for the DuPont saga isn't a sterile chronicle of ledgers and labs. It's a visceral storm of shattered homelands, defiant rebirths, and the fortune forged in explosions embrace a legacy that still hums in the veins of modern industry, whispering of resilience's roar and the quiet ache of what empires demand. Born into Paris's intellectual whirlwind on June 24, 1771, Éleuthère Irénée was the second son of Pierre Samuel du Pont de Nemours, a physiocrat visionary whose quill shaped France's economic dawn, rubbing shoulders with Franklin and Jefferson, while amassing a noble title that painted a target on their backs. Young Éleuthère, baptized in the shadow of Versailles, apprenticed at 14 in the Collège Royal, his mind a sponge for chemistry's secrets, but it was the royal gunpowder works under Antoine Lavoisier, the father of modern science, guillotined just 5 years later, that ignited his soul. There, amid the acrid haze of saltpeter and charcoal, he mastered the black art of explosives, blending precision with peril, his hands steady as he calibrated yields that could topple fortresses or light hearths. Life bloomed tenderly in 1791 with Sophie, a union of quiet strength, her dowry a modest anchor, their vows exchanged amid revolutionary tremors, and by 1795 4 children blessed their hearth. Sons Alfred Victor, Henry Alexis, and daughter Julia, each a fragile flame against the gathering storm. But the reign of terror devoured light. Pierre's liberal reforms branded him royalist, his printing press torched, the family twice jailed in 1797, Éleuthere's heart pounding in a cell where guillotine rumors seeped like damp. Freedom came via a friend's mercy, but exile's decree was iron: leave France or perish. Pierre, ever the schemer, secured passage with Jefferson's aid, visions of a utopian French colony in America dancing in his eyes, though reality would grind them to grit. They washed ashore in a frozen Newport, the DuPont's noble finery traded for woolen coats, Pierre's dreams of a model settlement crumbling under America's raw sprawl. Éleuthère, restless in his father's failed ventures, a wine import flop, a publishing stall roamed Delaware's Brandywine Valley, a verdant serpent of river and mill that stirred memories of French forges. On a hunting jaunt in 1801, his rifles misfire American powder fizzling like wet tinder, struck like revelation. This young republic, vast and vulnerable, craved quality blasts, yet choked on inferior imports from Britain, prices gouged amid Jefferson's embargo whispers. With Pierre's blessing and $6,740 from French backers, loaned against Franco-American bonds, Éleuthère staked 100 acres near Wilmington in 1802, christening E.I. du Pont de Nemours and Company after his father. The mill rose defiant, water wheels churning willow charcoal from local trees, imported sulfur and saltpeter ground in stone mills, safety walls of earth shielding workers from the boom that could claim them. Sophie, her hands calloused from tending the homestead, rallied the clan children scampering amid the din, her lullabies drowning the grind as the first batch detonated in April 1804. A clean thunder that proved Éleuthere's edge. Purer grains, hotter burns, yields 20% beyond rivals. War's shadow in 1812 was their forge. British blockades starved supplies, but DuPont powder armed Perry's fleet on Lake Erie, stuffed Perry's cannons at Put-in Bay, its reliability a lifeline in the Chesapeake's fury. Contracts swelled, $200,000 from the Navy alone, mills multiplying to 7 yards along the Brandywine. Workers swelling to 200 souls, many French exiles bound by Eleuthere's paternal code. Fair wages. No child labor, a communal table groaning with venison and verse, yet triumph's blaze hid heartaches. Sophie's quiet vigil masked fevers that claimed young Alexis in 1814, his grave by the river a wound that hollowed Eleuthere's nights, his letters to Pirnau, a Philadelphia consul, brimming with resolve laced in grief. We endure for them, for the powder that preserves. Expansion clawed westward. Agencies in Pittsburgh, St. Louis, even California by the gold rush. The Mexican War of 1846 fueling booms as black powder blasted mines and munitions. Eleuthere's sons, schooled in the work's shadow, inherited the fire Alfred Victor, the diplomat's grace, helming from 1834 till his 1856 death. Henry, West Point's stoic son, a Civil War colonel whose 1850 to 1889 reign quadrupled output to 4 million pounds yearly, swallowing rivals like Hazard powder, pipelines of profit snaking to arsenals. The Civil War's carnage was their crucible. Union contracts poured $5 million, DuPont blasts shattering Confederate lines at Gettysburg. But tragedy scarred Henry's son Alexis, drowned in the Brandywine in 1867. A current's cruel theft that echoed family losses, Henry's iron will bending but unbroken. By Eleuthere's, 1834. Passing at 63 struck down in Philadelphia, his body returned by barge to the Eleutherian Mills garden he deplanted with Sophie's roses. The firm churned £1 million annually. A $300,000 empire rooted in exile soil his will avow. Keep it family trusts woven tight to shield from squander. The 20th century's gales tested that vow. Great-grandnephews T. Coleman, Alfred I, and Pierce DuPont seized reins in 1902. Their coup a boardroom blaze buying 43% stock for $6 million, ousting cousins amid whispers of betrayal that fractured kin. Alfred I, the fiery rebel, bolted in 1915. His Nemours estate a walled fortress topped with glass shards against family foes. His 1935 will birthing the $30 million Nemours Foundation for Children's Health, a balm for his childless regrets. The trio's vision detonated diversification. Nitrocellulose for films. Cellophane's sheen, nylon's wartime weaves saving silk for parachutes. Teflon's slip in kitchens World War II contracts eclipsing WWI's $300 million. Atomic bomb triggers from Hanford plants. GM's 1915 stake ballooned to 23%. A $50 million anchor till antitrust's 1957 divorce. Yet shadows loomed. 1914's Hagley explosion claiming 11 lives, a fireball's grief that haunted mills. Labor strikes crushed, workers' blood on ledgers. Environmental scars from Brandywine's poisoned flow. Pierre S., the steady steward till 1940, poured fortunes into philanthropy, Winterthur's gardens, Longwood's fountains, his 1954 death-yielding trusts that endure, family branches like the Christchurch wardens preserving the creed. Today over 3,500 DuPonts scatter Delaware and Pennsylvania's hills, their collective. $14.3 billion as of 2016. Whisper compared to the $87 billion DuPont Dow behemoth that splintered in 2019 into Dow DuPont and Corteva family trusts, clutching 5 to 10% stakes in the Chart's dividends flowing like the Brandywine's quiet current. Éleuthère I. DuPont, a direct heir, stewards the Longwood Foundation. His board see the thread to the founder's flame, while Nemours heals 1 million kids yearly. Echoes of Sophie's lost lullabies. The Eleutherian Mills, now Hagley's museum, stands Sentinel Mills silent since 1921. But the powder's progeny in Kevlar vests and lucite lenses shapes our world. Yet the legacy aches. Internal feuds like John DuPont's 1996 Olympic scandal, a millionaire's madness ending in tragedy. The 1981 Bayer's Mansion Inferno claiming 5. Whispers of war profiteering that taint the triumph. Eleuthere's ghost, buried amid his roses, might murmur approval at the trust's grip irrevocable fortresses, shielding 200 years of sweat, but wonder at the cost. families forged in fire, fractured by fortune's weight. The DuPont's thunder, from Guillotine's shadow to chemical cosmos unmasks America's alchemical heart. Exile's spark birthing blasts that built bridges and bombs, trusts a bulwark against time's erosion. Their wealth a testament to war's grim gift and innovation's balm. Does their defiant dance of loss and legacy not quicken your pulse, urging you to claim your own unyielding path? If this explosive epic stirs your core, linger and subscribe. Let's chase history's hidden detonations together. Next, the steel-veined shadows of Pittsburgh. Andrew Mellon's banking dynasty, from Milltown grit to Treasury throne, a silent puppeteer of America's economic strings. What explosive legacy would you ignite in your lineage? Unveil it in the comments. We're all heirs to the blast.